Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome inside the NMAX Centrium, the home of the Red Deer Rebels, but for the next 2 weeks, the home of the men and women's hockey tournament at the 27th edition of the Canada Winter Games. We are so glad to have you on board for what will be a great matchup. Pool B action between Team British Columbia and Team Saskatchewan. British Columbia fell 4-2 in a very good back-and-forth game against Team Manitoba. It was really a spirited affair. They had a 2-1 lead, but they ultimately succumbed to 2 late goals for Team Manitoba, the reigning bronze medalist at this showcase. And leading the way was Graham Sword, the defenseman, with a goal and an assist. Keegan Maddox played in net for Team BC, and was solid, making 34 saves on 37 shots. And Team Saskatchewan won in dramatic fashion. It was Nolan Allen scoring the clutch game-winning goal in overtime to deliver a big performance for his team. He has 2 goals and 1 assist. Carter Prosovsky, the other defenseman, had a goal and 2 assists. And ultimately it was Saskatchewan overcoming 3 one-goal deficits to their rival Alberta to earn the big win and pick up 2 points. These 2 teams did not play each other at all at the 2015 Canada Winter Games, but the rich rivalry between BC and Saskatchewan in hockey has been a lifeblood of our game for many decades, so it should not take a long time for these 2 rivals to really get at each other. Starting 5 on each team will line up at the blue line. We will prepare to have the national anthem be sung, and then opening puck drop. Starting in net this afternoon for Team British Columbia is Thomas Millick, and he plays for the Burnaby Winter Club Midget Prep Team. He has an 11-4 record, a .902 save percentage, and during his spare time he loves to solve Rubik cubes and flipping on trampolines. And his cousin Michael Millick competes in triathlons on behalf of Canada, ranked 453rd in the world. He played for the Pacific Selects at the 2008 World Selects Invitational. And the Saskatchewan coaching staff are going back to the hot hand. Brett Merwald shot 40 of 43 shots against Alberta yesterday to win. And he has represented Saskatchewan Huskies at multiple tournaments, but he is shining with the Saskatoon Blazers with a 14-2 record. And he's a former member of the Saskatoon Maniacs. And he was drafted by the Moose Jaw Warriors and the Humboldt Broncos in 2018. We are ready to go. Saskatchewan, of course, wearing green. They'll go from right to left. BC, wearing white with blue trim, will go from left to right. Should be a good matchup. We are underway. Let's see who will make an opening stand first. And it's Linklater going for that puck. He was a good energy forward yesterday against Alberta, and he played the body early, but here comes Semenoff against the line. But he has poked off the puck, and gathering it up is number 5, Gibson, the defenseman. Steered it over to his department, and Carmichael throws it all the way down into the attacking zone. Joe Arnston, the other number 3, gets it out to the neutral zone, but O'Brien is there to send Saskatchewan back in their own territory. Firster does a little chip play to get it out to center, but BC has been in good position so far. Whenever they stumble and give the puck away, they seem to be in good position to regather it in the neutral zone. O'Brien slides it over to the left point. Carmichael a shot that sails high and wide. Captain of Team Saskatchewan, Cole Sillinger, was a big spearheader in the last game. He takes a shot on goal and a steered aside. Really good pad save by Thomas Millick, and he directs the rebound out of play. And Cole Sillinger, like I mentioned yesterday, is the son of legendary NHL journeyman Mike Sillinger. He played for a record 12 teams in the NHL during his 19 seasons, and he was traded a record-tying 9 times. He was always perennially at the top of the trade rate list on TSN trade deadline day as a shot went on goal, and Nolan Allen was denied, and he was the hero. 2 goals and an assist for Team Saskatchewan, and the scouting Suvers News says that Nolan Allen is a defender who knows his angles very well and gives forwards a lot of unexpected looks through abrupt changes of pace, and is a very balanced skater who is tough to knock off the puck. He is a bit like Drew Doughty in that regard. If you are compared to Drew Doughty, you are doing something right. Charge down the right wing. Really good speed by Abkral, dropping it back to the point. Bentham shot to net it through, and Bentham is one of the 2003 players born on this roster. He has been very solid indeed throughout the course of his season. Saskatchewan getting organized. Allen sends it rink wide, and Sweatikoff sends it deep inside the attacking zone. Saskatchewan has 2 shots on goal. BC is looking for their first, but they've had some pretty good zone time. But Carmichael gives away the puck. A chance on the doorstep. A shot is fired over top of the net and wide. Hodson had a glorious attempt all alone in front of the goaltender. Counterattack. Here comes Steele Queering down the left wing on his backhand, trying to initiate that cycle. Protects the puck on his forehand. Tries to slide it back. That is stolen away, and Logan Cox steers it over center. Puck is stolen again by Saskatchewan in the neutral zone. Both these teams are playing a very disruptive brand of hockey. A lot of steals, a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone so far. But good speed nonetheless. It's not really affecting the pace of game. These two teams are really flying to start this one. 2:30 into this game, we have no score. You are watching this game on Sports Canada TV and the Canada Games YouTube channel. We've had wonderful support. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. We've had hundreds of viewers. I believe the game yesterday between Ontario and Nova Scotia had close to 1,000 at one point. So We are definitely very honored to have your support. And these athletes are all trying to put their mark on this tournament, like Sidney Crosby, Jay Bomeister, and the other great athletes have in the past. The net ended up on the meshing behind the goaltender, so we will have the face-off take place inside of the Saskatchewan territory. Just want to remind you that there are a couple more games happening here at the NMAX Centrium. The next game on the docket will be taken care of by TSN. They will broadcast Alberta and Manitoba, the teams that finished silver and bronze at the 2015 games. Here's Klassen, a nice burst of speed down the middle, trying to split the D. Backhand shot, a weak one, but Millick steered it away with his stick. Turning and firing again. Here's a chance down low. Backhander, big save is made by Millick as he denied a good opportunity by Linklater in tight. Hammett tries to hold the line, but it bounced around a little too ferociously for him to keep Saskatchewan inside the attacking zone. With possession, that is. BC, however, turns over the puck. Here's Sillinger, 2-on-1 down low. Sillinger walks in front, backhander save, rebound, scores! There's the dynamic skill of number 17, Cole Sillinger. The scouts have been loving him for years, and you just saw the exciting dynamism of this young player as he scores a big clutch goal because of making a play out of nothing. 3:41 into the first period. Saskatchewan strikes first. So now BC will try to turn back the clock. They are still looking for their first shot on goal. Nearly played 4 minutes. They had 39 shots yesterday against Manitoba, so they certainly are not afraid of putting the puck on the net. Here's a shot towards the goal, but it just deflected a little wide. And the left corner, Semenoff twisting and turning. His pass missed the intended target of Finlay Williams, and the puck goes back to the neutral zone. Graham Sword, who had a goal and an assist, tries to bank it ahead. Merwald is out to play that puck. Semenoff has it come to him off the rim. But now Cox is going to clear it all the way out to center. When in doubt, always use the tractor lift. But the referees are saying that the puck was deflected, so no delay of game call there. So speaking of Graham Sword, here's what the Scouting News had to say about him. The defenseman plays a cerebral game with the puck and is a dominant defender who likes to move the puck up the ice and sets his teammates up for easing scoring chances at the net. So that'll be the key matchup we're watching, the battle of the puck-moving defensemen, Nolan Allen and Graham Sword. Let's see who comes out on top for that. And the cool thing I've been doing over the last month, I've been finding out the individual player rituals, but a cool team ritual that BC has is that the equipment manager, Craig Chief Carter, announces the starting lineup, and the players build off of his passion and enthusiasm. You gotta love how the support staff really becomes woven in the fabric of the team, and it really is great that they get a little bit of a surge in momentum whenever they come onto the ice after hearing his announcements. Shot from the right point, and Barrows is denied by Millick. Barrows recovers it in the neutral zone. Angles it up the right wing. Cox has it. He is getting tied up very effectively by Tyson Galloway. And is pinched all the way down to the other end. A little race. Abgral pushes very hard into Barrows, but puck came free for Furster and is chipped along by Kirkland Mullen. Mullen, backhand pass all the way across ice, and it's going to be under duress. Trying to handle that puck is Trevor Wong, but he was getting rung over a little bit by the aggressive forechecking of Team Saskatchewan, who has a 6-1 shot advantage, 5:37 into the game. BC is getting organized. Logan Stankoven, who is about to set Thompson Blazers goal scoring record. As he has 43 goals this year, he's trying to score his 44th. That would pass the record set by Blazers forward Tyson Jost in 2014. And he apparently had an 8-point game for his team prior to coming to this tournament just last weekend. So this guy is really feeling it. He wears number 17. So that'll be another matchup, the Battle of the 17s. Big dump in. Merwald is out to play the puck. Hasn't been as busy as he was early on against Team Alberta. Alberta had 18 shots on him. Here's a backhand attempt. Getting hauled down before he could really complete the shot with Steele queering. And we just saw a stick flew out of one of the defensemen's hands. Battle down low, shot on goal, save, rebound, scores! Sillinger denied and tight, and then on the doorstep we saw it potted home by Kevin Anderson. It's 2-0 for Team Saskatchewan. 6:44 into period 2. Johnny on the spot, there to bang home the garbage. But you can definitely see Cole Sillinger has a shot that is giving Millick a little bit of fits. Big rebounds created off of that wrist shot from Cole Sillinger has directly led to a couple of the goals. Referees are now taking care of the discarded sticks, and he will bring it back to the BC bench. Shots are 8-1 for Saskatchewan. And the BC fans have a large contingent of fans here. Let's see if they could really rally their boys to step it up. So 12:55 remaining on the clock. I was just getting word from my technical director, so apologies for that slight interruption. So I believe we could show you the score of the game, but I'll still be giving you frequent updates on the clock because that is something we are not able to provide you on Sports Canada TV just because of the setup of the building. So I will make sure that you are well apprised of what time of the period it is. Puck is taken over by Carter Prososki. He had a goal and 2 assists, and he made a nice stretch pass to Wilm. Coming down the right wing with a power move, but he is rode into the boards very hard by Jack O'Brien. We're getting a slashing call behind the play. And we are going to see a power play chance come into effect, as Chiasson is going to go off. So Saskatchewan's vaunted power play that went 3 for 7 yesterday against Team Alberta will get their first crack at their craft tonight. Sillinger already has 2 points. He's taking the opening faceoff. They're just getting the clock adjusted. Right now it says 0 penalty minutes on the clock. And yep, now they have the clock in order with the proper guy in the box, Chiasson, and the proper amount of time, 2 minutes. We're back at it. Allen to Prososki on the right point. Slides it over to Allen. He likes to walk that line. He's doing it there. Prososki drops it back for Allen. No shot. Over to Sillinger. Cross seam. Prososki takes a shot. It's blocked by a skate. Allen slides it over to Prososki. Another good cross seam pass. Sillinger, however, had to settle it down. In the left corner, operating with that puck is Switikoff. He had a key assist on the game-winning goal in overtime, scored by Allen, who has that puck. Top of the right point, takes the shot. On the doorstep, a save was made by the goalkeeper. It was deflected en route. Steele queering, battling ferociously, trying to get it out. A couple of whacks. Third whack, they still can't get it out of the zone. They'll try this side. And it's gloved down. Great play by Allen to knock down an attempt by O'Brien, but they're going to roll a hand pass on the play, so face-off will be outside of the zone, but that was quite an effort there by Saskatchewan to pinch and claw to keep that puck inside of the zone, but ultimately the face-off comes out of the zone. Power play time remaining is 1:07 on this attempt. Hammett over to his defensive partner, Barros, up the right wing. And Linklater is offside. A couple of his teammates were a hair ahead of him. I just want to remind you, of course, that another game is happening right now, Nova Scotia and Quebec. That is at Downtown Arena. Holly McNeil happens to have coverage of that game, and you could certainly simulcast this. Listen to both games at the same time, get a complete picture of what's going on in the tournament. all the Pool A games, plus a few Pool C games are happening there. I have all the Pool B games and some of the Pool C games here. And just as a refresher, Pool A, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Pool B, Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Hammett, a shot from the left point. That didn't get through. 14 seconds remains on the power play. In the right corner, Hodgson, a centering pass. A little too hard to handle for Mullen, or else he could have had a great chance to rip it on goal. Out of the penalty box, Verbicki tried to set up his man, and that is Chiasson. Left the puck behind, went back to get it, and he sent it over for Sword to dump it deep inside the attacking zone. BC now has to get to work with getting some shots. They are down 9-1 on that category. Shot towards the goal by Wong is high and wide. Here's O'Brien trying to manage that puck, twisting and turning with it, forced out of the zone. Here's a giveaway. That was a good attempt by Carmichael, but that was broken up, but a follow-up attempt. Stankoven, nice little pass down low, tip play on goal, and Stankoven was denied. And now we have a little bit of pushing and shoving. Arnston and Wong had a couple of shoves for each other. Face-off is getting organized. Stankoven loses that draw, and it's going to be overtaken and dumped inside the attacking end by Schneider. Went to the penalty box a couple of times for Saskatchewan in the last game, but plays a very stout game in the defensive end. Förster involved on the forecheck. Referees have decided they have seen enough. They're going to call play dead. But I mentioned a little bit over about the exploits of Stankoven, who's had a great season. Has over 75 points this season. And highlights of his career include playing at the Brick Tournament, going to provincials twice, and winning the Kamloops International Bantam Tournament. Also likes table tennis and swimming, so I bet he might venture down to Western Park, which shares the same building as the Centrium, and take part in the table tennis tournament that is going on down there. There is some good action. I've watched a little bit of table tennis yesterday on YouTube, and the skill of these young athletes is very good. There's some good strategy with the tandems that compete in that tournament. Gloving down the puck in the neutral zone. Here comes Sillinger down the left wing. A shot on goal. A rapier-like glove save by Millick. Really good flash on that glove to keep it out of the net. Face off inside the attacking zone for Saskatchewan. 8:49 remaining on the clock. Big scrambled face-off. They're all trying to hook at it to get it out. Queering, a bit of a 2-on-2. Softly dumps it down low. And there's Verbicki managing it with his size and frame, but they're forced outside of the zone. Graham Sword. Lead pass, a giveaway. Prosofsky, however, not able to take advantage as he overskated it. Both teams are taking turns giving it to each other on this last little sequence. Pinching in Bentham on the right side. In the right corner, Latimer tries to continue the cycle, but it's interrupted. They're trying to clear it out, and they do get it out to center. Saskatchewan and BC are both making full-scale changes. Bentham gives away the puck, and Linklater, a nice little back pass, but he gives it away. Verbicki, a lead play. Nuance was behind the defense, but a little too high. He couldn't glove it down in time to go on a break. A lot of giveaways between these two teams. That's what's fueling the transition game. Really good pace. 10 shots to 2 in favor of Saskatchewan, though. Schneider knocks the puck deep in the attacking end. Millick is going to steady it for his defense. Jack O'Brien angles it ahead, maybe a bit of a race. Chase on trying to force the issue. He is down on his knees, drops it back to the blue line. No shot. Carmichael takes a shot. Getting a piece of that is Merwall. The wraparound attempt. It went over the stick of the forward before he was able to really get it on net. And that was number 11, Cage Nuance. And he plays for North Island of the BC MML. O'Brien fumbles with it. Almost a steal for Mullen. He leaves it for Cox. This is a good energy line for Team Saskatchewan, but their cycle got interrupted on that occasion. Abgral goes after it. Stankoven gets to the puck first on the near half wall. Wong centers it out of the corner. Backhander by Stankoven. Big save is made by Merwald. In the left circle, Wong doesn't shoot. Slides it over to Stankoven. On the right point, Gibson a forehander. Blocked in front by Barrows. Centering pass again. It just fluttered over to the far side boards. And Saskatchewan gets it ahead out to center. Anderson, the second goal scorer, couldn't handle that hard pass. Stankoven in transition, pivots. Now he'll just throw it down low, just a hair ahead of Wong, who is charging towards the net. Breakaway pass the other way. Here's a chance. Swetikov is denied by Melik. Big clutch save as he denied him with his pads. Remember that save if BC comes back in this hockey game. Puck is flipped, and it hit the energy board, and that has been happening an awful lot. You think it'd be a rare occurrence, but that's the third time today that a puck has lifted and hit the energy scoreboard. Face-off will be inside of the attacking zone for Team Saskatchewan. They send Sillinger out there off the draw. Puck comes right across to Semenoff. He plays for the Burnaby Winter Club, and he angles it inside the attacking zone, and he's having a good season with 50 points in 30 games. Drafted 93rd overall by the Kamloops Blazers in 2018. Here's Bentham sliding it across. Forehand shot by Swart is a little bit wide. Williams drops it back. Bentham, a shot, scores! It was tipped en route. A deflection allows the puck to sail past Merwall to make it 2-1. It very well could have been Semenov who got the last touch of that puck, but it was a shot by Bentham that got through from the right point to make it 2-1. And now the BC fans have a reason to cheer. 5:08 remains in period one. So we'll get exact clarification, but I believe Semenov got the last touch. We'll get some clarification about that, folks. One thing for sure, Bentham will draw an assist as that was his shot that went through. Here's a chance down low. Another big save is made. A rebound chance behind the net. And that was a great chance for Latimer coming in tight. Shot from the left point, denied. A rebound is there, but just a little wide of Latimer to get the rebound. And it was indeed Semenoff that got the last touch. And then almost another big chance created becomes a point shot from Carmichael on the left point. But Merwall was able to stand up to him. But that goal has ignited a spark. BC looks like a different team. So he just mentioned Semenoff, and now he scored a goal. Athletics is in this family's blood. His mom was an all-state track runner, and his dad played junior hockey in Kelowna and was really able to admire how his dad thrived as a junior player, as a smaller player. And Matthew Semenoff says his style emulates Brendan Gallagher. And that is a good guy to replicate, that's for sure. Gallagher, one of the smaller guys in the league at 5'9", but he is definitely described as a little ball of hate by a lot of his opponents because of the way he attacks in front of the net. Shot in front, but it goes wide. Gibson from the right boards, and that's tipped off the defenseman's stick and goes to the far corner. Fortunately for the goaltender, it didn't go towards the net. Firster angles his way in, drops it back, Klassen a shot. That was blocked. Barrows steadies it. Long lead pass, goes tape to tape. Linklater in for Klassen, backhander didn't get through. Then he tried to flip it in, but it goes into the netting instead of the actual net. But Nolan Bentham set up that goal with that shot that he had. He had 7 points in 8 games for the 2018 World Selects Invitational, playing for the Pacific Selects. And his dad, John Bentham, played defense for the Victoria Cougars in 1989-1990. And his grandfather, Brad, played for the University of Wisconsin. So another good athletic family. Anderson makes a nice rink-wide pass, and he finds his teammate Kyle Bocek, but the puck rolled off his stick. Puck is bouncing around high, a little bit of baseball action going on. Anderson gets knocked down into the boards by Stankoven. BC takes possession as a result. Sword overskates that puck. They'll just leave it. Now a lead pass ahead. They're trying to take a couple of stabs at that puck. Allen trying to motor along. Here's Prosovsky, his defensive partner, making another nice heady play, stealing that puck. But it's overtaken. 2-on-2. Stankoven's shot deflected off a leg and went wide. Shot from the right boards, and that was Semenov getting denied by Merwald. Semenov on the left wall. 2:22 remaining on the clock in period number 2. 10-5 the shots on goal in favor of Team Saskatchewan. Carmichael angles it over to O'Brien. Back for Carmichael. Diagonal pass ahead. Semenov just nice it into the attacking zone. Changes are being made on the fly, but offside is the call. We'll have a stoppage in play. But I just see Barros on the ice, and I've been very impressed with the way that he's moved the puck. 24 points in 35 games this year for the Saskatoon Contacts, and he is going to maybe be a future teammate of his rival, Matthew Semenov of BC, because Barros was drafted 27th overall by the Kamloops Blazers last year. Linklater, little pass down low, backhander, Hodgson is denied, rebound is there, a big scramble in front. But the puck ricocheted out of play into the stands. And now there is a discussion whether it should be a delay of game or not. Saskatchewan tried to plead the case. But nope, it was just ruled a deflection, so it will remain 5-on-5. Bentham nudges the puck down low in the attacking end. Mellick has been active in playing the puck. He comes out again. And that allows Williams to spearhead a rush. Verbicki gains the line, shot towards the net, blocked in front. Semenov in the left corner. Matches up against Hodgson. Linklater can't clear. Nice keep in down low. That's Tyson Galloway doing good job pinching. Semenov plays it into Finlay Williams of the Burnaby Winter Club, and the Burnaby Winter Club has 6 players on this roster, so very popular indeed. The Yale Hockey Academy also has multiple players. And Delta Hockey Academy is well represented. And for Saskatchewan, Prince Albert has over 3 players. The Saskatoon Contacts have 4. The Saskatoon Blazers have 4. Notre Dame Hounds and the Notre Dame Argos are represented. And there are 3 players from Regina, too. That's the Regina AAA Canadians. 50 seconds remaining on the clock in period number 1. 11-5, the shots on goal in favor of Saskatchewan. But BC has definitely become a lot more dangerous over the last 5 minutes. In the minutes leading up to the goal, and of course when they scored that goal with 5:08 remaining in the frame. Rosofsky's lead pass missed everybody. Icing call coming up against Team Saskatchewan. Key offensive zone faceoff. BC wants to try and equalize this affair before the end of the period. A little change in the faceoff configuration. Latimer shown out, Queering is shown in. Saskatoon wins it defensively. I should say Saskatchewan, apologies about that. Bentham angles at that puck. Nudges it over to Sword. 9 seconds remaining. Will there be one more chance? The puck is tipped in down low. It's an icing goal against Team BC, so maybe one more chance for Saskatchewan. And they are going to send out Sillinger's line. But there has been some different configuration. Head coach Gordon Burnett has not been afraid to go with a blender, trying to experiment. That's what you want to do in your first couple of games before locking things down in your third and final game of the round robin, which would take place tomorrow for Team Saskatchewan. They will play against Team Manitoba. That game will be at 12:30 tomorrow at the Centrium. BC will play Alberta to end day 3 of the tournament tomorrow at 7:30 here at the Centrium. Puck is dropped, and we are done for period number 2. Period number 1, as we just saw a little bit of a discussion between a couple of the defensemen in front of the net, but everything has been resolved. The two sides will go to their respective dressing rooms, and we'll be back in 13 minutes to provide a recap of period number 1 and also to set up period number 2. This game has really picked up the pace as it went along, and period 2 should be very good as well. Thank you for joining us on Sports Canada TV and the Canada Winter Games YouTube channel.
$25,000 going towards deserving charities in Central Alberta. Thank you, Shaw.
Welcome back, everybody, to the NMAX Centrium. And let's do a recap of the opening 20 minutes before we begin the middle chapter of this game. Team Saskatchewan has a 2-1 lead. Cole Sillinger opened the scoring at 3:41, and then Kevin Anderson scored at 6:44 to make it 2-0. That goal was assisted by Sillinger and Blake Swedikoff. But at 14:52, 5:08 remaining in the period, Matthew Semenoff scored, assisted by Nolan Bentham and Finlay Williams. The shots in period number 1 were 12-5 in favor of Team Saskatchewan. We're glad to have you on board for this game. Saskatchewan, by the way, is 0 for 1 on the man advantage, but a solid 3 for 8 overall during the course of the tournament. And of course, we want to remind you at 4 o'clock, TSN Sports will broadcast Alberta and Manitoba coast to coast. And that was spectacular. BC played Manitoba on TSN yesterday. It was a 4-2 win for Manitoba. It was a very good game. I know that BC will definitely come out with that urgency because they cannot afford to be 0-2 going into their final game of the round robin. The main tact for all the teams in Pool A and Pool B is to finish within the top 3 of their pool. If you finish 4th overall, you have to play against one of the 2 teams in Pool C in the quarterfinal qualifying games to even have a chance at the playoffs. So the main thing is to just try and put your destiny in your own hands and never put yourself in that situation, because you never know what could happen in a one-game winner-take-all. We're just having a little bit of delay as the clock just winds down. And now that the clock is 0, we are allowed to commence with our period. The players were just a little bit earlier getting onto the ice than usual. Saskatchewan is going from left to right this period. BC is countering right to left. Logan Stankoven was a big catalyst in that period. Not able to lead the breakout on this occasion. Saskatchewan really controlled the first 10 minutes. BC the last 10 minutes. Saskatchewan wanting to put their pedal to the gas one more time. But here comes a rush up the middle. It is Abgall behind the defense, throws it across, a little out of the reach of Stankoven. A shot from the right point, and it's deflected out of play. I'm sure that the coach, Steve O'Rourke, might very well encourage his player just to shoot the next time. And speaking of Steve O'Rourke, I did an interview with him prior to this tournament, and I loved how he went into detail about how this team was selected. Here's a quote from him. "We put a premium on identifying quality people. We have many individual and group meetings with the coaches and our sports psychologist, Kyle McDonald, to set the standard of expectations. Our preparation process is about building trust and communication player to player and coach to player." And on the doorstep, they are banging away. They want to be cohesive, and you could definitely see the fruits of that labor. Really good detail to that game. And you can say the same thing about the Saskatchewan coaching staff led by Gordon Burnett. Gordon Burnett is assisted by Rob Dahlman and Devin Prout. Steve O'Rourke is assisted by Jason Becker and Brian Pellerin. Nolan Bentham makes a nice little lead pass ahead. Cole Sillinger's across the line, able to smeagol his way past one defender, throws it to the goal mouth. It is free there in the near circle, but is batted out to safety by Carmichael. And Elias Carmichael is the captain of Team British Columbia. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Behind the cage, Hayden Wilm. He gets sandwiched into the boards effectively. Carmichael steers it ahead up the left wing. Latimer poking and prodding, chipping and chasing. He gets to that puck first. Stepping in front of him, though, is the defenseman Hoffrog. Hoffrog plays it up for Hodgson. Tries to do a little crisscross maneuver to create some space, but he went offside. But very good detail by Elias Carmichael, who plays for the Burnaby Winter Club. 14 points in 24 games. And he really credits his grandmother and his mother as a key mentor for keeping him grounded. And one of his best accomplishments to date was winning the Pat Quinn tournament with the BCWC Bantam team in December 2017. And Pat Quinn is really beloved, especially out in BC. So I could definitely see why prevailing at that tournament, which happens in late December every year, would be a major milestone. Tanaka Campbell just flips it down low, goes right to the goaltender, who steers it over to the corner. No icing call there. Behind the net, Tanaka Campbell, he's free, creates a little space, drops it back to the blue line, but Bentham couldn't hold it in. The puck has been bouncing around a little bit. There have been a lot of errant passes and a lot of passes bouncing off of sticks. Hard to kind of get a flow, but you have so much games happening over the course in one day, so it is bound to happen for sure, but the conditions have been really pristine. This building hosted the opening ceremony the other night, and that was, of course, spectacular. Over 3,600 athletes, a lot of guest speakers. Rachel Notley, the Premier of Alberta, Julie Payette, the Governor General of Canada, Ron McLean and Kerry McLean. Shot goes on goal, save is made by Merwald, as getting that one through some traffic was Ty Gibson. The message to all these players is, this is your moment, make it count. And that was really cool. And Finlay Williams was the flag bearer for Team British Columbia at the opening ceremony, so that would have been a great honor for him. Puck is flipped out to center. There was a few hockey players. Artistic gymnastics had a few athletes that were carrying flags for their provinces and territories. On the attack, Linklater loses control. It is steered out to safety, but Sillinger takes over. Entering in on the left side, drops it back. Shot by Arnston is low and wide. Verbicki makes a lead play ahead for Williams. The BC flag bearer makes his way down low on the forecheck, but he is snuffed out. Solid defensive play by Schneider to play the body. That's his bread and butter. But behind the net, Williams has it again. Back for Carmichael. Shot tipped towards the goal. Save is made. A great deflection in front of the net. And that was perfectly delivered to the crease area by number 16, Matthew Semenoff. Matthew Semenoff, who had the goal because of the deflection, almost was able to pull it off again. And that line will stay out there. Steve O'Rourke, like what he saw, might as well go with the hot hand. Swetikov, however, sends Sillinger in transition the other way. Sillinger, a hard wrister, but it was just off the mark. Saskatchewan trying to pin them in, however. O'Brien makes a nice chip pass. That'll send a 2-on-2 the other way, maybe a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Down low in front, a shot on goal. Big save is made by Merwald, as that was Caden Bankier getting himself in prime scoring area. And Bankier was one of the players that scored against Manitoba yesterday. Bankier, a drop pass, but it's rattled off the crease and out of play. Here comes BC on the attack down low. Following up, Stankoven not able to get that shot through to the net. Wilm overskates that puck. A couple of bodies colliding. Real bit scrambled play just outside of the Saskatchewan zone. Hoffrog goes down inside of his own territory. Deals it along for Barros. Semenoff stabs at that puck and keeps it alive. Down low, Stankoven was able to get a shot even though his stick was being lifted while he attempted that shot. The goaltender was off the angle, so if it was on the net, that could have been 2-2. Shot clock is getting closer. It was 10-2 for Saskatchewan, and now it's 12-9. 8 out of the last 10 shots have been registered for Team BC. So BC is going to get ready for the attacking zone face-off as soon as they get a discarded stick off the ice. Tanaka Campbell on the right point. Forehand shot, save is made, rebound is there. Nguyen's not able to pull the trigger right away. Latimer back to the blue line. Galloway looking for an angle, now takes the shot. Ricochets off the backboard. Now it hits the side of the net as there was an attempt by Queering. Really good shots. And that's the big adjustment you see with a lot of the young defensemen. They're more calculated with their shots from the blue line. Slap shots are not in vogue. Wrist shots are. Well-placed wrist shots that are. There's a drop pass shot, and Prosovsky fired it wide. In the right corner, Klassen frozen on net from a sharp angle, and it's steered aside by Millick. Hasn't had a lot of work this period. 7:01 gone into the frame. Klassen in the left circle. Gets it to the goal mouth area. Backhand shot in tight. And getting denied on the play was Logan Linklater. And that was Saskatchewan's first credited shot of the period. 7:08 into the frame. That really tells you how BC has really come alive and taken the throttle for most of the second period. So let's see if Saskatchewan can get back at it. But PC is looking to make something happen, but here's a turnover. Moen a shot, blockered aside by Millick. Battle raging on. Nolan Allen, the defenseman, really likes to get into the thick of things. He was more playing the role of forward than defenseman on that shift. Puck is deep behind the Saskatchewan net. Semenov drops it back for O'Brien. He has a little bit of time and room. Over to Carmichael. He takes a shot, rattles off the back glass, but it stays in. Williams into the right corner. Semenov on his backhand. Knifes it along. O'Brien over to Carmichael. Loads and fires. Save is made. Rebound just wide. Semenov couldn't get the best piece of that puck that he wanted. A counterattack the other way. Sillinger one-on-one. But he is forced to the boards by Carmichael. Smooth defensive play by him. Abgral knocks the puck down in the neutral zone. He stumbles as he enters the attacking end. The two number 8s collide against each other. Abgral and Schneider. Schneider now has to fend off Stankoven. A shot from the blue line by Sword is just wide. In the far corner boards, puck is going to be angled all the way down to the other end of the ice. An icing call against Team Saskatchewan. And they've had to do that a couple of times. Because one thing for sure, BC has kept them hemmed in their own zone for a few stanchions of the game. Behind the net in the attacking zone, Stankoven back for Sword, a goal and an assist yesterday. Bentham takes a shot from the right point. Behind the net. Trying to knock it around is Wong. He's a very good grinder on the forward check. That's been very self-evident in this period so far and through the course of this game. He gets support from Stankoven, drops it back. Bentham shoots wide off the mark. Hodson takes the body, but he's able to get the puck out of the zone, but they ice the puck again. And that has been a continuing theme. Couple last moment changes for Team BC. Face-off will be in the far circle. Squaring up is going to be Chason. And he will square off against Matthew Hodson. And Hodson wins the key defensive draw. Saskatchewan's done a nice job of that in that game. And throughout the tournament, for that matter. Galloway from the left point. His shot deflected by the stick of Hodson, never got through. Berbecki Had to do a little bit of hot potato. The puck was bouncing around in his midsection for a moment. But it settled down and it's played around the boards and out to safety by Hammett, down to the other end. Another icing call against Team Saskatchewan. Third in a row. And the referees are making sure that all the players that were stuck on the ice have to come back out, and they've probably been stuck out there for over 90 seconds. But you gotta love the attempt of the teams to try and sneak a couple of players off. That's gamemanship at its absolute best. Puck is played all the way over to the other side boards. Shot towards the net by Queering. It was going high, but the goaltender Murwald snags it down nonetheless. But the good energy of Matthew Hodgson has been very impressive. He plays for the Saskatoon Contacts, 28 points in 35 games. He had 75 points in 31 games, including 44 goals for the Saskatoon Outlaws last year. He played for the Saskatoon Stallions in 2017. And he really shone at the Max Midget Tournament in Calgary this past December with 1 goal and 4 assists in 4 games. If you're over a point a game at the Max Midget Tournament, that is a very good feather in your cap indeed. And that tournament takes place in Calgary every year. I've had the fortune of covering it myself on the female side, and definitely a must for all young hockey players, just like the Canada Winter Games for the players that are born in the appropriate birth years. This year, players born in 2003, with a couple of exceptions here and there, populate this tournament. In 4 years, it'll be the 2007 class that will dominate the ice. 4 years ago, it was 1999. Backhand play up the middle, a bit of a 2-on-1 perhaps. Linklater tried to feather it across, but it deflected off of Graham Sword into the goaltender. And he'll take that over a 2-on-1 pass over to Clausen, who had a lot of speed. And the girls' tournament, which will be taking place here in Red Deer starting on February 24th. The girls will predominantly be from the 2001 class. But what's really cool is some of the Northwest Territories teams will have players from the 2001 class all the way to a 2006 player will be in this tournament. So that's quite compelling. The youngest players in this tournament are 2 defensemen on Team Yukon, Alex Cadero and Matthew Gillard. They are both born in 2005, so double underagers. .845 remaining in period number 2. Not as many shots in this frame. Play has been pretty buttoned down. There's been good chances and breakdowns here and there, but some stout defensive hockey played between these two clubs. Centering pass, a shot on goal. Save is made by Murwald. A good chip chance right on the goal mouth by Semenov, and Murwald says no. That is all due to good positioning. But ladies and gentlemen, the shots, like I said, were at one point 10-2 in favor of Team Saskatchewan. Now it's 15-13. The gap has closed dramatically. 8:20 remains in period number 2. Sword keeps Saskatchewan pinned in their own zone, and that is the mantra of this team. They really want to tire Saskatchewan out with a forecheck shot towards the net by Sword. A little high. Now they're going to rule a high stick was involved in that sequence, so there will be a stoppage in play. Puck is flipped out to center. Gibson over to Galloway, and he'll just hold on. Stankoven Couldn't really handle that puck. He'll let Galloway handle it, but Hodson, really good almost attempt at a steal, playing the role of the Artful Dodger from Oliver Twist. He really likes to pickpocket, and he's good at it. In the far left corner. Puck is banged back to the left point. Allen chips it to the left circle. Possession is being traded back and forth as both teams are working feverishly along the wall. Now a chance for Prosofsky, banks off the backboards, comes back to Allen. He sifts it a little bit wide, but he tried to just direct it on net and catch the goaltender by surprise. Never a bad play. And also never a bad play for BC just to lift the puck to safety. No icing call. Allen is getting ragdolled a little bit because of the pressure by Stankoven. And a big-time collision. Nuance just really crunched number 7, Prosofsky. That was a Richter scale collision. Probably the biggest hit I've seen in this building so far in this tournament. Wow. Shades of Scott Stevens on that hit. Nuance on the forecheck. Digging very hard for it. He gets his stick lifted by Clausen, but they continue to go to work. For Bickey, backhand swats it along for Queering on the blue line. Turns it to the wall, Nuance, cross seam, he takes a shot. O'Brien was blocked. Referees are going to call play dead because of a slashing call. British Columbia will go to their first power play of the game. Linklater is going off. And BC went 0 for 2 on the power play against Team Manitoba, so they want to break that goalless drought here and tie this game up at 2. Good possession off that draw. Stankoven over to Wong, moves to the left circle on the half wall, taking his time, slides it to the side of the net. No shot yet. Wong over to the far right half wall. Good rink-wide pass for Stankoven. Now Wong, top of the left circle, takes the shot. Getting a little piece of that is Merwald. They're banging away, and that is Nuance trying to force his will with his big frame. And he was able to force Merwald into a couple of good saves. 5:46 remains in period number 2. 89 seconds remaining on the clock in the power play. Linklater in the box for another 89 seconds, and BC trying to make it work. Stankoven in the left corner, drops it back for Wong. A lot of the players are working in close quarters. Sword takes command at the top of the point. Now on the right half wall. Nice cross seam pass. Wong received it from Stankoven, but couldn't get the shot through to the net. Sword on the point one more time, fakes the shot. Angles it over to Wong. He takes his time, very calculated in his approach. Stankoven, top of the right point, over to Sword, back for Stankoven. He takes the shot, save is made by Werwald. Rebound went wide, went behind the cage, got to the blue line, Sword keeps it in. Wong, into the right circle, Stankoven powders one, didn't get the velocity on it that he wanted, but he forced the goaltender to make a save. And one of the defenseman's sticks went flying out of his hands. And that was Hodson losing his blade. So 5 on 3.5 down low. A shot, scores! A centering pass, cross ice, and Stankoven is able to tuck it low underneath the pads of Team Saskatchewan's goaltender, Merwald. This game is tied at 2. BC scores their first power play goal of the tournament. Logan Stankoven, who has 43 goals with his club team, the Thompson Blazers, now scores the big goal here, his first of the Canada Winter Games. We are deadlocked at 2. The lead for Saskatchewan is no more. The goal happened with 4:43 remaining on the clock. Now 4:33 remains. BC leads on the shot clock, but we are dead even on the score clock. And Cage Newens set up the goal. And that was a really nice cross-seam pass. Logan Stankoven, a bullet of a shot down low to beat the goaltender Merwald, and we're tied at 2 apiece. Shot is funneled towards the goal, and the goaltender will pick it up. 4:24 remains in period number 2. And Cage Newens was able to set up that play. And what I could tell you about him is that he plays for the North Island Silvertips, 27 points in 28 games. He says he plays a similar style to Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he says he really has to win the game of sewer ball before he plays hockey, if he wants to play well. And sewer ball is another word for the pregame soccer ritual that the players do. Highlight of his season was a hat trick that he scored in the second period of a game against Lee Harks as a shot went on goal and a save is made by the goalkeeper. That was a nice drive to the net by Bankier right in front of the cage. Semenoff turns and fires, and that goes behind the net. Oh, so close to BC grabbing the lead. Another rush. Here comes Queering charging down. Getting it his way by extending his body was Hofrog. That was a very good play by him. Hofrog now accepts the puck. Inches it ahead. Mullen taps it inside the attacking zone. Lead pass from Sword ahead for Queering. But it's stolen away on the far side boards. 3:10 remains in period number 2. Shots on goal are 16 apiece. And maybe a 2-on-1 the other way. Furster along with Klassen. Furster shoots well wide of the cage. On the left point, Schneider tries to keep it in. That's broken up. Maybe a 2-on-1 the other way. It is Latimer feathering it across, but Schneider lifts the stick of Queering before he could accept it. Back comes Saskatchewan now. Furster down the middle lane, takes the shot, steered aside by Millick. Klassen in the left corner, on his backhand, protecting the puck. Gets it over to the right corner boards. Linklater behind the cage, trying to volley it in front, but stolen by Verbicki. Puck is gloved down in the neutral zone. Newens left it behind, but it is jammed ahead. Verbicki, however, just not able to skate into that puck. Now it flies into the stands, and some lucky fan is going to get a souvenir puck. Hodgson will take the face-off. Battle rages on. Cox is pursuing it diligently. It is banked off the glass. Prosofsky into that high slot. Shot towards the cage. Just fluttered a little wide of the net. In the near corner, Verbicki falls down. Didn't stop him from making a good forward pass. And Chiasson flips it deep inside the attacking zone, and the chip and chase cycle game will try to commence. Verbicki tries to play the body on Prosofsky. Another big hit on Cox. A counterattack, a shot blocked before it could get to the net. That was Anderson, who scored the second goal for Team Saskatchewan. 85 seconds remaining on the clock in period number 2. Here's a chance from the left circle, a block in front by a skate. That was a beautiful toe drag maneuver to create a little time and rim, but just couldn't get it towards the net. Battle raging on the near side boards. It is being swatted along and out to safety. Swetikov and company are forced offside. And I've just taken a quick peek at the online stream, and I noticed that one of the latest questions posed by one of our audience members is the age range of the parents. Some curiosity over that. Well, this is an under 16 tournament, so all the players have to be born in 2003 or younger. However, the three territories, Northwest Territories, Yukon, and Nunavut, who made their historic debut, a winning debut that was, are allowed to have three players born in 2002 on their roster. Shot from the blue line by Bankier is denied by the goalkeeper. .8 seconds remaining on the clock. It is a 2-2 tie between BC and Saskatchewan. Williams off the draw. Tries to impose his will, but another defensive draw win. Puck is taken away, down behind the cage on the attacking end. Bankier back for Carmichael. He does a little stutter step. He gets it down low for Bankier. A shot is absorbed in the midsection by Merwald. (18-18). The shot's on goal. 11 seconds remaining on the clock. And now these two teams will try to close it out. Maybe one more chance for BC to get a goal on the board before the end of the period. In the left corner, Prosowski will just try to tie that puck up as long as possible. Referee has his arm up in the air. A penalty will be incurred late in the frame. A cross-checking minor will be assessed. Power play will be forthcoming for BC at the beginning of the third period. And that will be in about 15 minutes from now. I'll be back in 13 minutes to recap the period and also to set up the third period, including more details on who was penalized. Thanks so much for joining us on the Canada Winter Games broadcast on YouTube and on Sports Canada TV. Welcome back inside of the NMAX Centrium. And it's a 2-2 tie between Team BC and Team Saskatchewan. On paper, this was supposed to be a very good game, and it has lived up to this billing, absolutely. Only one goal to report of in period number 2. That was Logan Stankoven on the power play at 15-17, assisted by Cage Newans. Shots after the first period were 12-5 in favor of Saskatchewan. They were 13-6 in period number 2 for British Columbia. We are deadlocked at 18 apiece. And at the end of the period, Gabriel Clausen was tagged for a cross-checking minor, so he will be in the box. We're glad to have you on board for the remaining portion of this game. Might be 20 minutes, or we could potentially go beyond. Just a reminder one more time that at 4 p.m., TSN will cover Manitoba and Alberta here at the NMAX Centrium. And then at 7:30 p.m., I'll be back on the mic for a Battle of the Territories, Yukon versus the Northwest Territories. And both clubs have been playing really inspired hockey. They are not getting blown out like they were at the 2015 games, but they just haven't been able to close out results. They've had leads, but they have ultimately given up those leads very late in hockey games, and as a result have identical 0-2 records, regulation losses, both of them. So absolutely, one of those teams will have to deliver a big performance in order to try and break the goose egg. We're just letting the clock line down again, and we are at 0. We are about to begin period number 3. Will we need more? Let's find out. BC is on the power play. And they scored on their power play late in the second period. Had a lot of good chances, so let's see if they could strike iron twice. Graham Sword drops it back for Stankoven. The goal scorer crisscrossing his way in. Walks down the left half wall, takes the shot, follow-up, big save is made by Merwald. As Abgral had the puck, had a fortuitous bounce. It came right to him, and Abgral let it fly right to the net. Early save for Merwald to keep it at 2 apiece. Down behind the cage. It's played back to the blue line. Sword angles it over to the far side. Wong a shot. And that hard bomb was released a little bit wide of the cage. Goes all the way down to the other end of the ice. Sword behind his own net. He is just surveying his options. He drops it back for Wong. Smooth skater plays it over to Stankoven. Lost it between his skates. That prevented an opportunity for number 12 Firster to knock it deep inside of BC territory. Swetikov is just circling like a vulture in the attacking zone, wanting to create some sort of a steal. He's had a couple of key assists throughout the course of this tournament, including the primary assist on the game-winning goal yesterday against Team Alberta. 34 seconds remains on the clock in this power play. 1:30 has been played in period number 3. Bankier off the right wall, takes a shot. Pad save is made by Merwald. Chase on in the right corner. Decides to plot it along to the far side boards. Gibson keeps it in stride. Bankier turns and fires. Deflects off a stick, goes behind the net. Steal by Queering. Goes to the right corner boards for Chiasson. Dying seconds of the power play. Now we're back to 5-on-5. A lead pass, but well out of the reach of Clausen. Goaltender came out of his net to play the puck and almost fumbled with it, but he was able to reverse it over to the near boards. Clausen really bared down on him quickly. Linklater trying to hook at the attacker Bankier from behind. Saskatchewan does get the puck on the fly. Firster barges in the attacking zone on the left wing. Carmichael sandwiches him into the boards. There's going to be a holding call assessed. 2:28 into the period. So after Saskatchewan just killed off a man advantage for BC, they're being sent back to the penalty box because Förster grabbed Carmichael a little bit too much in the corner. So he will go off. BC goes right back to the power play. They are 1 for 2. In the near corner boards, puck is going to be played along all the way to the left point. Walking down low to the left corner. Nuance makes a centering pass. Stankoven plays it over to his defense. I think Nuance was trying to recreate the goal that Stankoven made. And it looked like a very similar play was materializing. Wong down low, a shot by Stankoven. It has powdered out of play. But a really great cross-seam pass diagonally from the left point all the way to the bottom of the right circle. Face-off going to be taking place outside of the zone. Battle raging on. Puck is nudged all the way out to that neutral zone. Bentham takes a sharp angle shot and a little bit of an adventure there. Juggled there by Merwald, but he's able to fend it off and keep it out of the net. A little bit dicey, but they were able to keep it out. Face-off will be on the far side in the attacking zone. In the left corner, Queering banks it back to the left point for Bentham. Threading that line, now he was forced offside. BC has to tag up. Saskatchewan, led by Swetikov, surveying his options, decides the highest percentage play was to just dump it into center. But Bentham takes over for BC. Nudges it inside the attacking zone. Nice little pinch by Gibson. It's clawed a little closer to the net by Bankier in the left circle, following up a shot. And that connected a little bit with the iron. That was a really good follow-up by Bankier and Queering, working in close quarters. They have been ferocious on that forecheck. Clausen is going to turn and rifle at the length of the ice. 15:52 remaining on the clock in period number 3. 17 seconds remains on the penalty against Förster. And in this period, shots are 4-1 in favor of BC, largely because they've been on the power play for basically the entirety of this period. Stankoven, nice cross-seam pass, shot towards the goal. Carmichael has it tipped in. They score! I believe Wong on the lip of the crease got the last touch, and he makes it 3-2. A great shot from the left point by number 3 Carmichael, and it was tipped en route by Trevor Wong. BC has their first lead of the hockey game, and they now have 2 power play goals. 4:31 into period number 3. BC has overcome a 2-0 deficit and now are ahead in this hockey game. And now Saskatchewan will have to tap into that resilience that they faced against Team Alberta, where they overcame 3 one-goal deficits. Here's a steal, however. Stankoven, cross-ice pass. It's broken up. Shot from the left point, and that is angled wide of the cage. O'Brien keeps it in down low behind the net. There's Wong going to work. He is pushed hard against the boards. It comes free. O'Brien, forehander, scores! A wicked wrister from the right circle. And it blew past Merwald to make it 4-2. 2 goals in 38 seconds for Team BC. And they have the coveted 2-goal advantage. BC has completely turned this game around in 38 seconds. .509 gone in period 3. And now Saskatchewan will really need to have a bounce back shift, or else this might get away from them. 5:21 gone in period number 3. 14:39 remains. And Gabriel Clausen, here comes a drive up the right side. Puck is knocked inside of the attacking zone. Puck is backhanded along the right wing. Here comes a drive all the way into the attacking zone. Jacob O'Brien. Here comes a play by Sillinger trying to bounce back. 14:03 gone in period number 3. And you might be noticing on your live stream that it's still 3-2 for BC. It is 4-2 for BC. O'Brien scored the goal and has his team up by 2. Deep inside of the Saskatchewan zone, Hoffrog loses control, Queering angles it over to the near corner boards. Digging very hard, ferociously for that puck. It is number 18, Tanaka Campbell, along with Latimer. It is jarred loose. Tanaka Campbell, backhand sharp angle try, and Merwald steered that aside. Lead pass ahead, broken up. Puck is nudged down low inside of the Saskatchewan end, and Saskatchewan's had been held to 1 shot in the opening 7 minutes of this period. An icing call against Saskatchewan, so it'll take a little bit more time for them to make it work. So yes, don't let your screen fool you. I'm sure the technical crew will eventually update the score clock to 4-2. It is a 4-2 lead for BC. Exactly 7 minutes have been played. Off the face-off, the puck just rolled to the goaltender Merwald. He's on top of it. And maybe these little short shifts would be a good thing for Saskatchewan, just to allow them to regain that composure. Puck is played up the middle, all the way out to center. Verbicki over to Cox. Hodson denied passage at the line, hit hard by Newens. Allen slithers his way across. Over it goes for Prosovsky. Into the slot, shot towards the goal, blocked. And will there be a rush the other way? It is a chance for Chiasson. Save is made. Rebound is there. Backhander goes over top of the net and hit the glass behind the goaltender. Another steal. Chiasson falls down behind the net. He is just a dog on raw meat, really ferociously going for that puck. He's up to his feet. He has it again. Drops it back to the blue line. Goes back to him. Angles it over. Verbicki, no shot. Backhand chip pass. Puck is forced out to center. 12:03 remains in period number 3. 4-2 lead for British Columbia. And if they win, they will have a record of 1 win in regulation and 1 loss in regulation, so they would temporarily take command of the pool, because Manitoba will then have a chance to pass them if they get their second regulation win or a point of any kind. So things are really setting up well for Manitoba if they win. But of course, Alberta wants to really make the standings tighter with a win of their own, and obviously to give these home fans a reason to cheer. There have been reasons to cheer, of course. Alberta was tied with Quebec for the most amount of medals after day 1 of the Canada Games because of their excellence in the 1,500-meter long track speed skating race. They had a gold medal winner and a silver medal winner. But the one thing for Saskatchewan, they need more shots if they want to come back. They only have one in this period. Semenoff is looking for another for BC. He does get a shot on goal, and it's snared and held between the pads. Full-scale line changes happening. Want to remind you that while the game between Manitoba and Alberta will be taking place here at 4, there will, of course, be another game. We'll tell you a little bit about that after the next stoppage of play. In the neutral zone, Gibson hammers the puck all the way down deep inside of the attacking end. Barros over to Hammett. Puck is nudged along. Gibson knocks it on goal, steered aside by Merwald. Maybe a bit of a break chance. First they're trying to speed up to that puck down the right wing. He and Gibson have a little bump with each other. Hammett comes in on the pinch. You're going to see a lot more activation of the defense, even more so. Klassen has his shot tipped wide. Firster tries to bank it in. Gibson behind the net, lifted a stick, plays it along the far boards. Barros keeps it alive, however. Plays it back behind the BC net. Klassen is there, jawing at it. Puck squirts over to the near corner boards. Klassen pulls it to his forehand and drags it all the way over to the far corner boards, but BC recovers. But a turnover, 2-on-1 down low. Linklater sifts it across. The pass was a little bit too hard, not able to be settled down by Klassen. A shot from long range by Hammett is rejected and held by Millick. Haven't really had to say Millick's name a lot. That was the second shot he's faced in this period. And now he's stopped 18 of 20 shots in this hockey game. Puck is angled all the way down to the neutral zone, but quickly sent back to BC territory. Carmichael rattles it around the boards, and BC will try to go to work on another foray, a bit of a 4-on-3, but they just chip it down low. The cycle has been their go-to bread and butter throughout the course of the game. They're good on the rush as well. A one-time attempt by Latimer, but Cox got his stick in the way. Good deflection to knock it to safety. .9:35 remains in period number 3, and the next game that will be happening at the downtown arena will be New Brunswick and Ontario. Ontario coming off a win. A shot towards the goal, save, a rebound, hit the side of the net, as that was O'Brien getting a piece of that as well. He scored the goal earlier to make it 4-2. In the slot area, trying to jam away. Semenoff just fired it wide. A little behind the back pass, goes back to the blue line. O'Brien just rattles it down low. Centering pass, O'Brien in the right circle, doesn't shoot. Over to Carmichael. Juggled the puck, but he steadied it. Racing for it. Sillinger can't get it out. Eventually barely gets out to center, but quickly sent back in. 8:50 remaining in period 3. This has been a defensive clinic in period 3 by Team British Columbia. They're just suffocating any sort of Saskatchewan momentum to get on the attack, but all you need is one goal for Saskatchewan to get back in this game. Shot towards the goal, and that is wide of the cage. That was from Sword. Klassen engineers it all the way behind the net. On the far side wall, a lot of Saskatchewan forecheckers are working feverishly. Desperate to have a little bit of a sequence, but here's a race the other way. Shot down the left wing. Save is made by Merwald. Rebound bouncing around. And from a sharp angle, it was Verbicki getting a secondary chance. And both of them were turned aside with confidence by Merwald of Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan in their own defensive zone, trying to fend off another BC puck possession shift. Cox trying to backhand it out. It's stolen. Stankoven turns, fires. Save is made by Merwald. Good keep in by Sword. But now finally a good clearance attempt by Team Saskatchewan down to the other end. No icing there. A chase for that puck. Big body collision. Bocek hammered the defender into the boards, and that was number 2, Nolan Bentham, that was knocked down. And Bocek is going to go off to the penalty box for boarding. And now we just have to get confirmation about how much time will be put on the clock. Just 2 minutes. But BC has a couple of power play goals in this game. They've been deadly. But you're sure that Saskatchewan will likely take some chances. That's why Sillinger is on the ice, along with Swetikov. But a nice little dart up the ice by Stankoven. A chance to clear, and making no mistake on that play, Logan Barros, who's been among the steadiest of the Saskatchewan defenders in my book.
Saskatchewan penalty on number 10, Kyle Wojcik. 2-minute rewarding.
Puck is knifed inside the attacking end by Nuance. Played around to the left point. They can't hold it in. Stankoven will try to play keep away. Nudges it over to Wong, who scored the go-ahead goal. And here he comes. He's a smooth skater for the neutral zone. He cuts all the way deep in the attacking end. Now he'll do a little bit of a pirouette, drops it back. Sword returns it over to Wong. Cross seam, a little ahead of Stankoven. 55 seconds remaining on the power play. Sword over to Wong. Back for Stankoven. A shot on goal off the shoulder of Merwald. Sword. Little chip pass over to Wong. He's holding on from the left corner, surveying his options. He has outstanding vision. Sword. Wong takes a shot, and it took a little tip, and it goes over to the near corner. Stankoven regathers possession, but taking him down hard is Prosovsky. Stealing at his Nuance. He turns and fires. It's blocked in front, and there's a chance to clear all the way down to the other end. 5:49 remaining in period number 3. BC trying to close this out and pick up their first win of the tournament. Nolan Bentham backhands it deep inside the attacking zone. Semenov pursues. But Saskatchewan is able to survive, and they almost had a chance off the kill. Maybe they still do. Sillinger down the right wing takes a shot, and he was going far side just off the mark. I think he may have had the line towards the goal. 5:15 remaining on the clock in period number 3. Finlay Williams chasing down Hammett from behind. Hammett fends him off. And there's Sillinger trying to get shot out of a cannon. Down the left wing, offside is a call. Anderson was a hair ahead of him. .502 remaining in period number 3. BC is just trying to ride it out. Puck is played down low, and it's very curious with Saskatchewan down 2 goals. If it's a point where they're still down 2 goals in 2 minutes, will they consider pulling their goaltender when they're down by 2, considering that goal differential is a key tiebreaker if there happens to be a logjam in the standings, which is a very real possibility when you have only 3 games for each team. There's a chance that there will be a couple of teams, or maybe 3 teams that'll be tied in points. Carmichael maneuvers it along the near wall. O'Brien under pressure from Cox from behind. Long lead play. Really good stretch pass, but Nuance wasn't ready to accept it. 4:12 remaining in the 3rd period. Wilm backhands the puck deep inside of the attacking end. They're just trying to snuff out the momentum, not allow Saskatchewan any life. They have done a really expert job as Saskatchewan's only managed 2 shots in the entirety of this period. At one point, the shots were 12-5 in favor of Saskatchewan. Now the shots are 32-20 in favor of BC. Linklater drops it back. Prosofsky, D-to-D for Allen. But once again, it's slowed up, and they play it deep inside of the attacking zone. A long flip pass ahead, out of Firster's reach. And BC has another chance to clear, but a good glove down, and Firster in the slot takes the shot. Big save is made by Mellick. That was the biggest save he's made in quite a while. That was a key save for Mellick to keep his team ahead by 2 and to have momentum squarely on their side. Off the face-off, Sillinger loses the handle. Semenov is able to fend off a little pressure and dump it in deep one more time. 2:57 remaining on the clock. Centering pass attempt. Anderson jaws at it. The 2 number 9s squared off against one another, and the 9 wearing green won the battle by getting it out to center, but Saskatchewan's back in their own territory, just having a tough time getting over center. Sillinger will just lift it down low. Racing after it. Swetikov can't get there in time to keep the offensive zone time going. 2:32 remaining in period number 3. Stankoven taking over, drives down low, backhander, save is made by Merwald. 2:20 remaining on the clock. Will we see the goaltender pulled? He is looking towards the bench, but no inclination yet from the coaching staff on if that'll be the case, but he is at the top of the blue paint to be ready in case that happens. Maybe the coaching staff will wait until Saskatchewan has full command. But here's Avgro, a lane to the net, takes the shot, and a big save is made. Merwald steered it to the far boards. Good rebound control to facilitate a rush, but it is snuffed out in the neutral zone. Minute 50 remaining on the clock in the third. Big question is, will Saskatchewan pull their goaltender down by 2 goals? Goaltender's looking, but still no signal. Allen is deep inside the attacking end. Nuance chips it out. He's going to try and win a race. Battling hard against Linklater, but he is taken down hard by Prosofsky. And a minute 26 remains on the clock in the period. And a little bit of words being exchanged after the whistle. But Prosofsky will go off to the penalty box. So that'll make things very difficult. 5-on-4 for Team BC. So if Saskatchewan pulled their goaltender, all they could do is make it 5-on-5. And when you're down by 2 goals, I would highly doubt it that Saskatchewan will pull their goaltender, because the goal differential metric is very important in determining who gets the opportunity to move on to the quarterfinal directly and who gets to move on to the quarterfinal qualifying game. Referees having words. They're saying that there will have to be a substitution. Latimer will come onto the ice, and Finlay Williams has been asked to take a seat on the BC bench. So BC has a chance to ride this out and clinch their first win of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. Bentham angles it into the attacking end. So charging is the call. Puck is played deep inside of the Saskatchewan zone. Merwald kind of casually left it there, but here's a steal, a short-handed chance, potentially 2-on-2. Sillinger leaves it there for Swetikov, centering pass, but it's broken up by Bentham. A good stick in front. Shot from the right point, save is made. Follow-up chance from the left point, scores! Arnston let it fly from the left point, and he got it past the goalkeeper, just rifling it on target to make it 4-3. So a charging call against Team Saskatchewan didn't stop them from getting a short-handed goal. They are down by a goal. So now the interesting dilemma is, will they go for it? Will they pull their goaltender and try and make it an opportunity? So now we're going to see a timeout call. Saskatchewan will try and diagram a play, trying to win the face-off, get everybody going down in a formation, and then trying to get the goaltender pulled to make it 5-on-5. But BC could try and preserve the win by trying to just win the face-off and not allowing Saskatchewan to possess the puck. So Joe Arnston, a big goal from the left point, and he scores with very few seconds on the clock, 48.8 seconds to be exact. So now they're saying that Cole Sillinger tipped it in. So Sillinger gets credited for the goal. It looked like it was kind of directly in, or maybe off the defenseman's stick, but Sillinger is getting credit for the goal. He has 2 goals and an assist in this game. .8 seconds remaining on the clock. Can Saskatchewan pull it off, or will BC find a way to just close it out and earn their first win? Bentham angles it to the far side. The goaltender is indeed out for an extra attacker. 5-on-5. Allen over for Sillinger. Lead pass for Klassen. 29 seconds remaining. Sends it towards the goal. The goaltender will reel it in. Milik not taking any chances. So an attacking zone face-off, 25.6 seconds remaining on the clock. And Saskatchewan will need a clean win off of this, but BC is able to get it. They get it to the near side, but Allen pinches in. 19 seconds remains. Will they get a chance? Backhander can't get it out. Allen, a forehand shot tipped towards the goal, just wide of the cage. Looking for that deflection there with Sillinger. They're jamming for it behind the net. Sillinger tries to center it. It is broken up. Sword clears it. And it's out of play. 4.3 seconds remains on the clock. The puck is out of play. And they are going to rule that it was delay of game against Sword. So it'll now be essentially an opportunity for a 5-on-4 instead of a 5-on-5. So now if they win the face-off, they have a chance. They are going to set up Allen as the trigger man. He already has 2 goals from the back end. He's the right guy to take this shot, but the draw was won a little too well. It goes out to center. Not able to get the shot off. BC holds on and earns a 4-3 win in regulation time. And they have moved into a tie with Team Manitoba for first overall in Pool B. Very spirited game. Saskatchewan made one last stand, and they deserve a lion's share of credit. But BC, for the large plate, played a magnificent third period, really suffocating the offensive life out of Saskatchewan until it was really too late. They were able to get back within 1, but It was just too late to really expect to score 2 goals to come back from a 2-goal deficit. And excellent special teams also led to BC earning the win in this one. A stellar game won by the West Coast. Saskatchewan will play tomorrow against Manitoba. BC will play against Alberta. A lot to be determined in Pool B, just like it is in the other 2 pools. Get ready for another Pool B matchup, courtesy of TSN at 4 p.m. Alberta and Manitoba is forthcoming. Thank you for joining us for BC and Saskatchewan. I'm Quentin Amundsen, signing off from the NMAX Centrium. A 4-3 win for BC over Saskatchewan is in the Canada Winter Games books.